Okay guys, what's going on? This is Liam here from Liam Stops Tinnitus and Silence Tinnitus Now. And it's been a minute since I've done one of these videos where I'll just record an actual just video and put it onto YouTube with some new information. So haven't really done one of these in a short amount of time, or actually kind of a long amount of time, just simply because there hasn't really been anything new for me to talk about. I mean, most of my videos, that I do now, whether it's a live stream or whatever on Instagram, it's usually just kind of an update in terms of what I'm doing. So I have a couple of updates, but I also have some more information about tinnitus. But really, when I say I have more information, I'm talking more about, the mental side of things, because I feel like that's harder for people to do, even more so than actually, quitting coffee or quitting alcohol or sticking with this or sticking with that or doing this or that. The mental side is the hardest side, 100%. So let's start with the update. So Carnivore Collective, as I've told you guys, I'll be sending in a video for that. That's November 23rd of this year in Australia. I can't make it this year, unfortunately, due to my ridiculously busy schedule. In fact, I'm getting a little bit burnt out with the amount of people that I have to help. So it takes a lot out of you to have maybe 1,000 messages a day of people contacting you, asking for help and, begging for help and saying they're going to kill themselves every day and this stuff. It does happen. It's some people take it better than others. Some people's tinnitus is more severe than others. Some people have more stress than others. Some people have had it for longer than others. Some people have like a bit of a, more emotional fortitude than others, and that's okay. That's okay. And interestingly enough, there's no gender that's stronger or weaker. There's no age that's stronger or weaker. I've seen like 18-year-old men, be catatonic, which means to be like inconsolable. And then I've seen like, 80-year-old men be like fine with it, and be perfectly emotionally okay. So, and same with the women. It's like, who knows, right? Could be a hormonal thing, life experience thing, could be a genetic thing, so on and so forth, right? So the Carnivore Collective, I'll be filming a video to send in there to play. There are a couple of other guests who I think can only send in a video. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. So I actually do think all the other guests are going. They'll be there live. But I can tell you, for me, I can only send in a video due to my unbelievable work schedule. I think I'll be, my assistant, I'll be getting him to do more stuff. So maybe answering my messages on Instagram so that I can be 100% just in my paid group, because that's more fair to the paid people already paid. And I haven't done a live stream in a while just because I've been the name, if you look up the name 24-hour work in the fucking dictionary, it's a picture of me, honestly. It takes it out of you. It's not easy to do what I do, but, it's worth it for sure. I mean, when people message you and they say, I've had tinnitus for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and they go, and it's gone, and I can go back to work, or I can spend time with my grandkids, or I don't have to, do terrible things to myself. And I get clients who've turned into, unfortunately, they started self-harming, and they have drug and alcohol problems. And obviously I tell them they have to, go and see a therapist before they come to me. That's one of the conditions sometimes if it's really bad, because that's out of my purview. That's not appropriate for me to talk to them about that, and I never do. But that's one of the conditions, and they have to prove they do it, and then I can work with them. But, the therapist can't do much, because the therapists can't get rid of tinnitus. And a therapist's education is basically, when they learn about tinnitus, there's nothing you can do. Tinnitus is forever. It's irreversible. It's broken. Blah blah blah. Whether they learn about the stereocilia or not, it really is. Just they do learn that there's nothing you can do about it. You can't fix it. It's forever. You have to learn to habituate, and they'll even refer them to ENTs. And a lot of local therapists will actually, depending on what country they're in, they'll actually refer them back accidentally to the same ENTs that told them there was nothing they can do. So that gives them even less hope. But of course, then they come to me. So it takes a lot out of me to do that. So a bit burnt out, but what is the saying? A man's work is never done, and that's 100% true. There's always more people to help. There's always more people getting injured from loud noise or from stress or from medication or an ear infection, or, you know, the list goes on and on and on and on and on, like barotrauma from scuba diving. I've met so many people here. I live in Thailand, but I live in the north, but I was just down south in Koh Samui, trying to get a bit of a holiday, but, you know, high season, not too relaxing, but it's okay. I met so many people who, oh, what do? I help people with tinnitus. I go, really? I'm a scuba dive instructor, and I've had tinnitus for like this amount of years. Or, you know, my friend took a drug they shouldn't have taken, whether it's like ecstasy or cocaine, or whether it's like a, you know, like something like amitriptyline, Xanax, Zoloft, Ativan, Ambien, you know, something like gentamicin, something like a toxic antibiotic, something like that, like in the quinolone family of antibiotics. Can you help them? And I've, you know, been helping people here and there. So I actually started telling people that I do something else, right? Because it's so fucking crazy. Everyone has it. So many people have tinnitus. You know, in fact, and now a lot of the times when I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to have this conversation, I just go, oh, I'm in marketing. I do marketing, whatever. I had a client the other day ask in my private group, they said, you know, Liam, like, we have tinnitus and it's only a few people, and so many more people do the things that we do, like eat the food we shouldn't eat, they're stressed out, they're sleep deprived, they're under artificial light, they don't exercise, they don't ground, all the different things that people should be doing in order to have their mitochondria working properly. And they say, how come why is there only a small group of people who have tinnitus? And I'm like, are you having a laugh? Go out in the street and ask 10 people, do you have tinnitus? I promise you at least 4 of them will say, yeah, I've got it, on varying degrees. It's every single time I tell people what I do, they always say, oh, I've got that, or I've got a friend who's got that, or can you help my mother? She's like in a really, really bad way, and she's never been the same. It's like, it's constant. If you go outside and you talk to enough people, and if you saw my DMs, whew, it is like unbelievable. Like, there's no way that I can get back to everyone in my DMs, and it's too much, you know. So let's get on to a little bit of how emotional trauma, and let's just say stress, because trauma kind of insinuates that I'm talking about real emotional trauma. And I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychoanalyst, and that is outside of my purview. That's outside of my area of expertise. Tinnitus, hyperacusis, pulsatile tinnitus, vertigo, Meniere's disease, visual snow, those are the things that I work with. And hearing loss in most cases, those are the things that I work with. I don't work with depression and anxiety and, you know, all these things. I'm not an expert in those fields. I haven't fixed, you know, well, actually that's not true. Many people who've come to me, funnily enough, who do have anxiety and are on medications. When they follow my advice, those issues pretty commonly go away, because of course when the tinnitus leaves, so does that problem. But people underestimate, you know, how much sugar and eating poorly and sleeping poorly and watching these news all day and drinking coffee and having caffeine, that will the amount of anxiety and stress and sleeplessness and, you know, the effect it'll have on your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system is unbelievable. And also, don't forget the effect that caffeine has on DHEA, which is primarily made in your adrenal glands. And when you exhaust your adrenal glands of caffeine from dark chocolate, tea, coffee, all those different things, the DHEA is a precursor that actually helps to regenerate all of your cells in your body, from your nervous system, from your vestibular cochlear nerve, from your limbic system to your temporal lobe where hearing is processed, your skin cells, your organs, your thymus, your pancreas, all these your bone marrow where your immune system is made. I mean, and then yet again, your ENT will tell you coffee is fine. Drink it in moderation. Just have that incredibly toxic, addictive drug and poison in moderation. It's like when a fucking mother walks in and her 13-year-old daughter is smoking cigarettes or marijuana, and she goes, well, it's really bad for you, but just smoke it in moderation. Caffeine is still an incredibly toxic drug. It's just that everyone is so used to it that it's okay. You know, it's like, people look back in history and go, oh my God, cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola. Let me say that again. Cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola. And they look back and they go, oh my God. And in 50 years, people are going to look back at the amount of drinks that caffeine was in, like these energy drinks and coffee. And, oh, I can't think without my coffee in the morning. Yeah, because you're a fucking drug addict. Enough. It is true. It's not hyperbolic. It's not dramatic. I'm not trying to go, oh, what's an interesting thing to say. No, it's just the truth. Enough. Caffeine is a defense mechanism created by plants to kill insects, and you drink it for a buzz. What a fucking joke. Enough. Enough, okay? Stop listening to your doctor in terms of nutrition. Stop listening to your nutritionist in terms of nutrition. They're still going to tell you cholesterol is bad for you. They're going to tell you should have meat is bad for you. Meat causes cancer. Meat causes type 2 diabetes. Meat causes atherosclerosis. I mean, it goes on and on and on. For example, did you know that, when, let's say someone dies of a myocardial infarction, which is a heart attack, right? They clutch their left arm, fall over, oh my God, CPR, can't resuscitate him, time of death, such and such, right? You go to the mortician does an autopsy and opens him up and goes, well, we think it was a stroke or a heart attack because of the way that he died. Let's do an autopsy. And they go, yeah, we can definitely see signs of a heart attack. Let's do a biopsy on the heart. Let's cut open the heart. Okay, there's something in here blocking an artery. Let's do a biopsy. And they do a biopsy, what's supposed to be a big cluster of cholesterol blocking an artery, which caused a heart attack, right? Well, guess what percentage of that mass that's blocking the artery in the heart is actually cholesterol? Less than 0.01%. You know what most of it is? Scar tissue. Scar tissue from chronic systemic inflammation. This is something Bart Kay talks about. This is something Sean Baker talks about. This is something Anthony Shafee talks about, and many other people too. It's from chronic systemic inflammation. It's from alcohol, smoking, caffeine, oxalate, all these different things, stress, lack of exercise, and just the environmental toxins that we're subjected to, the water you drink, the shit in the air, the shit coming down from the skies, you know all about that, everything like that. It's just bad for you. So, and you're going to combat that by not eating the healthiest food on earth, red meat? What the fuck? It's so unbelievable the amount to which people have just been deceived regarding specifically what makes us healthy, physically and emotionally, and fertility-wise, by the way, to eat or not to eat, to do or not to do. We're told the sun is bad for you. Don't do strenuous exercise. Don't think for yourself. Trust these fucking people on television who apparently just like love us so much that spend every day trying to take money from you and make you unhealthy for money, and yet they're the ones that you should be like, oh, thank you so much. Look in the fucking mirror. That's the only person that's going to fix you. Even I can't fix you. And that's a good segue into the final point that I want to make about me not being able to fix you. What do I mean by that? Sure, I have the advice that works. I do. You can look at my testimonials from 6 years ago up until today. You can look at all of them, okay? Now, it's not always easy to get people to always do a video testimonial. If I told you the amount of times that people said, oh, if you help me, I'll give you an awesome video testimonial. It's going to be awesome. I want to share my story. Even when I had tinnitus, I was thinking, I was motivated by telling my story and what I was going to say. And then 6 months to a year later, because it does take time to get silence. It does. Even if you've only had it for 3 months, it can still take 8 months to a year because you've destroyed your health. Sorry. And they get silence. I'm like, awesome, can I have a video? And they go, oh, I'm just I can see it coming a mile away. Oh, I'm just busy at the moment. I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? You have 5 minutes just, and so I ask again, and eventually I just give up. It's like, all right, well, this person, it's people, they get what they want. And then, they don't really want to think about their tinnitus. People are scared that even doing one little thing will make it come back. And so I get it. It's no one, I'm never going to force anyone to do a video for me. Not that I ever could. But just for those people out there, and there's 100 or more, it's more than 100 now, just remember, you would help a lot of people, and for the majority of people who do actually do videos, you've done a great thing, and you're in a better group of people, and the world really thanks you for that. And I mean that, because these videos are forever, and you will help people for forever. Even after your time and my time is done on earth, people will still be able to see the videos of you explaining how tinnitus is not for life, and that's more valuable than your anxiety about being on camera. So well done. So hope and tinnitus, right? So fear and panic is, how do I put this? Fear and panic is a great way to destroy any sort of logic. And what do I mean by that? It's so easy for people to go in these cycles. I have clients at the moment who've been following my advice for, 6 months, and even within my own advice, they think that they're not doing the right thing, the right part of my advice. Because there's different things, you know. The first thing we usually do is a lymphatic system, and then we do an analysis of their home to see if there's any mold, and then we check their diet, and then we do this, then we do that. And it's usually kind of like a linear process. But, you know, the internet is both, as it's said, both a blessing and the curse. In fact, in the way that there's just so many options and there's so much information, and there's so many different things coming at you, and people think like, oh, maybe I should get neuromodulation, or maybe I should get peptides, or maybe I should get stem cells, or maybe I should do this or do that or do that. And, you know, there's just, people get distracted and they just stop doing the things they're supposed to do. And I can tell, you know, I can usually tell when a person will sadly be beaten by this. And just not do the right, like they can't stick to like 2 things for even like 2 weeks. And it's really sad to see, because it's like, I know this would work for you, but you're not sticking with it. And they go on the internet and they freak out, and they, you know, it's really disappointing to see. So one of the main things that I can suggest to people when they're totally panicked is, well, you know, aside from, you know, quitting coffee and, you know, getting off the sugar and things like that that cause panic, is, oh my God, stop Googling things about tinnitus. Stop it. Stop looking at these tinnitus forums, and stop looking at these doctors' pages, and stop looking at the Mayo Clinic, and stop asking ChatGPT. By the way, ChatGPT shows my name now, so I guess it's not all bad. But when you ask ChatGPT who are the most important tinnitus experts in the world, I'm like number 2 in the world, so pretty good. So ChatGPT, remember, the most comprehensive and intelligent computing system on earth, scours the internet. Liam Boehm, number 2. Awesome. I don't know who number 1 is. I think it's someone who does like something, stem cells or something, but I looked at their results and they don't have any, so oh well. Oopsie doos. Anyway, stop looking at these fucking websites. There's nothing there for you. I've been doing this I had tinnitus, which started about 10.5 years ago. And I got silence 4.5 years ago. So I had it for 6.5 years ago. So I had it for 4 years. Tinnitus and hyperacusis. And then I, you know, started telling people what I'm doing. And I've been doing this for about 6.5 years. So basically I've spent 10.5 years in this field. 4.5 as, I guess you call a patient. And, you know, 6.5 as not a practitioner, but rather a consultant, because I'm not a doctor. Which is why I can fix you. Because doctors, you know, doctors are stuck in this linear, or this box, where they think that, like, you know, tinnitus is for life, the patient's always wrong, I'm smart because I'm a doctor, la, 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 la. That's like the doctor box. For most cases. Some cases they're not. But you've seen it with your own eyes. You know, you would agree, I'm sure. Moving on. So stop looking at these forums. And unfortunately, I can tell when people haven't been following it, because one of the things is a lot of people who come to me are overweight, very overweight, and not all of them, but very, very overweight. And, you know, they'll do things like, you know, they just won't be losing the weight. And I'll be like, how is it possible for you? It's not possible, first of all, but it's a rhetorical question. But how is it possible for you to be still fat when you're, you know, eating well, exercising, going to bed early, you've cut the chocolate and the sugar and all that sort of stuff, and it's been 6 months and you're still the same weight? And then they go, oh, it's probably just, I'm just the exception, it doesn't work for me, da-da-da. And it's really sad to see, because I'm sure that it would work for this person if, you know, they would just, as many people, if they would just listen and follow it. But panic sets in, and you go on this cyclical thing of like, I'll try this new thing, tried it for 2 weeks, didn't work. It must not work for me. I tried this new thing, tried it for 2 weeks, didn't work, must not be for me. I tried this new, you see what I mean? It just goes again and again and again and again. And eventually you just give up, and it's just, it looks awful. And, you know, I was in a similar way when I first had tinnitus. I tried surgery, I tried habituation, I tried these, you know, scam supplements. Or, you know, I won't name them, but these scam supplements, it's like, oh, what about this? You know, one of them starts, I won't say their names, but if you see a supplement on the internet, it's like, this one thing will fix tinnitus. It's like, well, how the fuck is it supposed to do anything about like root canals, metal fillings, parasites, fungus, eustachian tube problem in the ear? Like if you have a micropathogen, virus, bacteria, anything like that, mold, candida. How is it supposed to do anything for, gallstones? How can it fix anything like a blocked lymphatic system or inflamed lymph nodes around your ears? How is it supposed to do anything about a blocked glymphatic system? So you have the lymphatic system in your body and the glymphatic system in your brain. How is it supposed to do anything about any of those fucking things? It's just a fucking tablet. It's not going to do shit, okay? All the people who see on the goddamn YouTubes and Instagram who are like, oh my God, I tried this one magnesium, what is curcumin thing, and it just like fixed me completely. And oh, here's a link. It's like the link they're giving you is an affiliate link. That's to sell you this shit, okay? The world is full of people who unfortunately are just trying to fuck you. Believe me, I live in Thailand. I'm used to it. Maybe in the country you're in, people are nicer to each other. But over here, the Thai people, unfortunately, for the most, not everyone, but it's pretty noticeable. Sadly, they see, the farang, which is the foreigner, and they go, oh, we'll give them more expensive prices and we'll just like raise a bit. It's like, it's disappointing, but I get it. If I was a Thai person, I'd do it too. But it kind of makes you more aware, and you see the world, unfortunately, of the internet as well for what it is. Not everyone is your friend. Not everyone. So anyway, don't let the fear get the best of you. Stay off the forums. Tinnitus is not for life. If you're having great results, please post it below. If you're silencing tinnitus, please post it below. And yeah, hope you guys are doing well. If you want to get help from me, I suggest going to my website. Maybe consider signing up for some coaching, because, you can either go through all my videos and try and figure it all out, or you can just come to me. Like, do you want to spend 6 months, or do you want to spend $300? And after 6 months of yourself, how far along are you going to be? That's all I'll say about that. I mean, I already have so many freaking clients that, it's unbelievable. But, if you really need help, then I'll make space for you. Okay, I'll make space for you. I'll make time. $300 with the course and 2 one-hour calls. Pretty good deal. See you in there soon, and goodbye.